On the fifth episode, we're gonna talk about supply chains, the practice of upcycling supply chains and SAARS systems. I often had this question within recent years. Before the SaaS system introduced into fashion business, we've already established the ERP system for the market end. We can use ERP to control and monitoring our inventories within our business. The beginning, you might think about this is only a corporation deals or a manufacturing-based equivalents or facilities. When I start with my business, basically we design our labels, and then we have to manually print out our price label to stick on our tags, and then we send it out to our distributors. Between 2007 and 2008, the first time we launched our collection in a shopping mall, we must convert the whole thing into ERP system. The shipping list with the ERP system of the agents, and as well as the shopping malls. So the shopping mall part was dealt with the responsibility of our agent. But for us, we create the whole system via Excel. That's about it. But after we've entered the shopping mall, and then the year after, most of our agents, they also create their product ERP system as well, by the regulation of the Chinese merchant department, and as well as the regulations of each different provinces in China. But anyhow, so each of these agents, they have their own system, not just only for our brands, but also for the other brands which they are carrying in their conceptual shops or their malls. So we ending up as not standardized one system for all. Even for the barcodes are not standardized. For instance, if we have a product, we have to swap from our shop in Nanjing into our shop in Beijing. So basically, we have to call up the products from Nanjing based on the availability of our inventories. But before we ship it into Beijing, we have to take down the tag and make it and put a new tag on top of it, because of a different system between the two different companies. And then even this is a new product, if we have these original tags and then ship it to a new stores, since we are not a franchise or self-own the shops, so the clients would eventually consider this piece of garment are old, used, or inventories as well. So by means we have to make this repackaging, make it new. But this is how the system goes. But from that stage, we are still not having the whole system which can control monitoring and trying to guide our marketing and promotion processes. The ERP system are not saying artificial intelligence enough to tell us how do we do. But with the SaaS system, we could eventually having all the statistics which getting feedback from our agents, our franchise stores, or self-owned standalone shops, and then gave us a conclusion of what kind of it's like analysis report about the quantity that we sold, what kind of category we sold, the percentage of the categories, colors, all range of the data analysis to guide us to design for the coming season, and trying to target much successful sales target. But most of the times, especially in China or large corporations, we often know that the marketing department only give us a feedback and reflection of their statistics and then gave us a guide saying like, you should do this and that based on this, and that's about it. But none of them with the inventory tells you that how many inventories do they have in our storage or warehouse, and what kind of style are they, or what kind of number they have available in the stock and inventories. Why can't they sold, and what kind of problem do they have? They can't. But actually they could, but it was just like the lack of the teamwork spirit or communication between the design department and the marketing department, because the two departments have different target. So none of these things are really being combined as a circle to guide us. But with upcycling, we must have this process to be implemented into the whole cycle, and they must help us, and they must guide us to achieve the successful sales after we have finished upcycling, by means of they need to offer us the problems which they have been monitoring. For instance, why are we having this particular style have 150 pieces are not sold, but while the other styles has been sold out completely? What's the problem with this? Is that because of fittings? Is that because of the colors? Is that because of styles? Whatever. And they could also tell us from the feedback of the front-end salesperson, any means of the things that they had a feedback to analysis of inventories, gave it back to the upcyclist, or saying the consultant or the designers, and we can use it to guide our design to modify these piece of object left over or became dead stock, and make it vivid or live again, and being successfully sold after our redesign or our adoptions via deconstruction or reconstruction technology.